speaking of options, let's take a quick detour. Troy, I want to talk about something that we did the other day on Friday.
Was this on the Runner Show? No, I'm joking. Go ahead.
Audible. Audible. Now, Troy, we did something that I don't usually do. I went against my usual pattern, but every now and then I deviate. And there was an interesting thing that you had brought to my attention of Robinhood.
Yeah.
Shout out to Robinhood.
Shout out to good folks at
Robinhood. And you know, we looked at the stock, and the stock was down, I believe, 85% from its high. And you had all this details on, you know, Robinhood and why you thought that it would be a good play and different things of that nature. So we put an option call on Robinhood.
Yes, we did.
$20 option call.
Where's your entry?
Made it. What was it?
So at the time the stock was like at 10 something, 10 and our bid was like, we got like 350.
Oh, you good.
So yeah, it was up 25% today.
Mm.
Quick 25% profit. Like I said, I usually don't do individual stocks, but
so imagine the conversation I had to have with him for him to do it.
I did. I do believe.
Why would I do it now? Exactly. You gotta talk to him for an hour, right? I know because I didn't get a text about it. I know you'll argue for hours.
It was a 15-minute call, and what happened was, you know, like when you watch some of these investment shows, they always talk about unusual activity at a certain strike price, and so obviously we saw Robinhood just take a hit. Right, they missed on their earnings. They missed almost on everything, their guidance, everything. They dropped down to $9.44, and now we found out that Kathy Wood bought $31 million worth of shares, but we didn't know that then. And so I was just looking at the actual stock. I'm like, all right, well, let's see how many people are making puts on it. And when I looked at the puts, I actually saw the calls had an unusual number of volume at the 20 call. And that wasn't just for like 2024. It was like short-term and long-term. I'm just like, man, this is unusual. And so I started digging deeper. I wanted to look inside of the history of the option, see where it originated at. At one point, it was at $2,800 a contract. So when I see it down at $350 a contract, now I'm interested, right? Because I'm looking at the floor. I'm like, all right, well, has Robinhood hit its floor? And so then I had to show him why I think it's if it hasn't hit its floor, it's damn near it. The upside, right? Even if it moves 5 to 6% in a year, we can get to $20 by 2024, right? They still have over 40 million users. They still have crypto as an asset that they can use when they're dropping their crypto wallet. So there was all these things that were pointing toward it, and I'm like, all right. We don't have to load the boat on it, but let's buy a few contracts here. And obviously, it worked out in our advantage for the first couple of days. We'll see how it does over the next couple of months.
What's your percentage exit price that you guys are going for?
Selfishly, I like anything over 50 to 100% on this one.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my range. If it goes over that, I'm happy. But 50 to 100.
Yeah, I think 100% is definitely doable. Monitor the situation at 50%. See how more comfortable. And I feel comfortable about Robinhood though, because I actually got a chance to actually visit the facility in Silicon Valley and speak with leadership.
You know how they got subtle shade? Like your subtle flex is phenomenal. Another leadership. Okay.
Another one.
Job well done.
Oh man. So
Mike, clip that up.
That was fly. That was fly.
That was tough. You in a good mood today. You have to run around, go out through the city. I feel you.
Yo, that was fly.
But we'll see. But yeah, no, I just go, Troy, like I said, every now and then, we just do something, it didn't put too much in, but Troy, he's always doing research and he's always looking at like volume plays, the volume that's coming into the option calls and all that. He does that stuff all day. So yeah, just wanted to let them know that.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody that was on. I had held a little something for our people who attended Apollo.
Not a little something. You had an exceptional,
an exceptional performance at the Apollo. And our people who attended the Saturday gathering. I should call it that because it wasn't more than just a sit down. It was a learning session, but it was a gathering. It was a nice social environment. We held something for them this Saturday, and so if they were there, we talked about it. hopefully you got into the positions early this morning because it was still at that 350 range. I know it got up to like 485. So that was a nice play. That was a nice one.
Yeah, we need the Don DeMarco.
Don DeMarco. Flex bomb.
Shotty, you should get out at 1958. Like that's because I know you're conservative, so if look to start take profit at 1958.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
The price target on it is actually 1955. That's interesting. You said that. So
my name is my name.
Most analysts, and that's one of the things I was showing people how to research too, is let's see what the analysts are saying. So there's over 200 analysts. You study that, you get an average. So the average was about 1955 for December of this year. So that's interesting.
If you guys are not in it already, please don't chase it. I don't want you to die. I don't want you to see no death.
No.
It's too late.
This is
you missed the boat. You didn't shoot your shot when you were supposed to. It's going, family.
Yeah. But we got to find a new gym.
Find a new one. All right, let's talk about this. Okay. What are 3 big lessons learned from last week's drop?
Number one, everyone is focusing on the short term, and I think media does that to trick you out of your spot. Like, we had 3 to 4 weeks of a pullback. That's nothing. Some of y'all been in bad relationships 5 years, and you're like, man, the market's crashing. I'm like, no, the relationship crashing. Why don't you get out of that? Moment of silence. Okay, I'll keep going. Number 2.
Hold on, Ian, I got you.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
Number
Congratulations.
2. Namaste. I have water. I'm peaceful today, right? I meditated. Got a little coconut oil on. You have to focus on the highest quality assets. So for those who bought in at great prices on crypto stocks, you were fine. It wasn't that hard of a drawdown. If you're seeing something fall back 50%, 55%, 60% from a year ago, it wasn't a good asset to begin with. And then number 3, I'm realizing almost everybody is buying way too damn high. Like when you buy a good company, good business, good brand, you don't have those same kind of fears. Now, for my veterans, I've always told you, when it's a bloody week like that or 2 weeks like that, don't open your account. It makes it a hell of a lot easier because then you'll start to have FOMO and move things around that you shouldn't. But people are buying too high and hoping. And tonight on Stock Up Call, I'll walk you guys through. But I want to tell you guys, like, if the high is 100, when it gets to 95, you have to stop. You have to stop buying and wait for it. And now, remember a few months ago, I was like, hey, a crash is going to come. There were some people in the comments who were not pandas or earners, and they weren't familiar with us, and they were like, no, it's not going to happen. And now we're there. Now, even everybody on the Bitcoin side is like, yo, 30 is probable. And if 30 breaks, 21 will be sitting there for you. You have to wait for the right prices to buy the best assets in the world and not gamble. And shout out to Chris. He had a great quote. He was like, how do you guys say you want generational wealth and you won't hold the stock for 3 or 4 weeks? Like, y'all just saying it because it sounds cute on IG because you want Bay Girl to DM you. Stay dedicated to the craft. If you look at any stock over a 5 to 10 year period, crypto 5 to 10 year period, you would be crazy to get out of anything that is of high quality. Don't do it.
Yeah, I would say execute, man. That's the biggest lesson, right? Like we can talk about the price points and we can talk about entries, but if you're not actually executing on it, then what you just hoarding the information, and that becomes super dangerous, right? Like you can know a lot and do nothing with it. So that you like they always tell you about like knowledge is power. I'm like, nah, man, knowledge is power when it's executed. When you execute it, that's when it becomes powerful. So like execute. Like we told you.
And can I be real? Even with that?
Hold on real quick.
Yeah.
We spoke about 4 stocks that we invested in, but there was some other ones too that you could have, right? If you would have invested in Netflix when it was 376, right? Think about this, right? It was at 376. Within 3 days, it's up at 425. It got up to today. Right, we're talking about a company that you've been paying probably for the last 8 years without unconsciously paying, right? And they raising prices on your subscription now, and you're not even going to blink. So it's a company that you're already spending with. It actually hit a low for 52 weeks, and it's like, all right, well, is this a good point? Yeah, we gave you 4, and if you were watching Netflix, you could have obviously had a nice run up.
Yeah. If you're playing these option calls too, that you gotta, when something hits a 52-week low, you gotta start to consider. Even if it's not a long-term play. I mean, even Zoom's up $10 today. Mm-hmm. It's not really
going back to the ground though.
Yeah, but I mean, if you did the option, you're gonna make some money. So it's one of
Yeah,
these.
but I don't want them to come back and blame us. And man, Shorty told me to.
Oh no! Well, disclaimer: I'm not telling you to do it. Please do your
Oh,
own
the
research.
dad. So hopefully you don't have to go through that.
Yes. Nah, I'm not telling you nothing.
Because then they gonna have their own mic clipped it up. So we gotta play defense. You're not gonna strip me. No pick six over here. Nope.
You said no pick six?
My graduates from my school being Forbes, bag drop.
Bag drop.
A mic drop, bag drop.
Bag drop.